We're fortunate to have with us Frank Foster with us today live. Frank, is glad to have you. I've listened to your music. I'm extremely impressed with it, man. You are an entertainer from the word go, and we're glad to have you coming to Hattiesburg this Friday night at the Multi-Purpose Center in Forest County. So great concert. And I understand this is not your first visit to Hattiesburg.
No, man, I've got a long history with Hattiesburg, Mississippi, man. I used to play at a place called Brewski's. A lot of people around there will remember that name. It got to the point at Brewski's where we were not only having to come play one night, we was coming to play 2 nights in a row to be able to satisfy the fan base. So that was awesome back in the day, getting a chance to do that. And then got to break into the Forest County Multi-Purpose Center with Bulls, Bands, and Barrels a few years ago. We've done a few of those. Then I've done it on my own once without Bulls, Bands, and Barrels. And now we're coming in with Chris Cagle and Blaine Rudd. So, man, just looking forward to coming to Hattiesburg, man.
Absolutely. Well, you're from Louisiana. Early on, you were an oil field worker out in the Gulf of Mexico. How in the world did you get from the Gulf to Nashville, Tennessee, writing and singing?
Well, I tell people, if you want to light a fire under a dream, you go out to the Gulf of Mexico with Sling and Tom days, man. That's basically what happened, man. I was just, I got a guitar when I was in college, my junior year, and just to accompany myself, started writing songs. I got out of college, flat broke like everybody else, so I ran offshore to make a quick buck. 6 years later, I'm still out there, So I was writing and singing for those guys out there on the rig, songs I'd written, things like that, and they really, honestly, those guys out there on the rig in the Gulf of Mexico on the old Herc 120, man, they really gave me the confidence to go and try this. They was like, look, man, this will be here forever. We think you're really talented. We're not just telling you that because you're our buddy. You should go try this. And
well, you had a captured audience, that's for sure. I tell you, out there in the Gulf.
Absolutely, man. So we jumped off the ledge in 2011, and I've been running up and down the road playing country music ever since. I can't hardly believe it, still to this day.
Well, your path to Nashville is taking kind of an unusual turn. And so I guess knocking on doors on Music Row and all that, but you are a writer, a singer, you produce your own records, and I think you have your own record label. That's pretty unheard of in Nashville.
Yes, sir. I just I took a different approach. I came to town like everybody else. You don't come to Nashville unless you want to be the next George Strait or Alan Jackson. That's why you move here. But my path took me a different route, and instead of staying in Nashville and begging everybody for a record deal, I found a place to record some music, man, and I hit the road. And 3 or 4 years into my career, my phone really started to ring, and probably anywhere from 2012 to 2016 or 17, I could have signed any deal I wanted in Nashville, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. But I decided against that. I loved the independent route, and today with social media and things like that, we were on the very front end of those things. You can make a career in this business, and you can make a great living, but you don't get famous outside yourself. And what I mean by that is I'm a simple dude, man. I like to, if I want to go to the grocery store, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do that in peace. And don't get me wrong, every day I go out, I get noticed, and that's okay. But I think the way that people see me build my career and the way I don't take myself too seriously, when I meet people, it's just a cordial thing, and we keep it moving. And I love the way that everything's turned out. I told somebody earlier today, I get to live my dream, but it's still easy. It's a easy thing. Being famous was not my goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, your songs like Blue Collar Boys, I mean, that hits home.
Yes,
that and Good Old Girl, and your new one, Red, White, Black, and Blue Heart. I tell you what, that's a tough one.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm really I was when I wrote that song, I was like, wow. First and foremost, I'd never written a song with that heavy of a lyric, and what I mean by heavy is that serious of a lyric to such a fun sounding track. It sounds like it's rock and roll. You want to roll the windows down, but if you really listen to the lyrics, it's really talking about something. So I thought the song was very unique in that way, and those are all those were 3 short stories that were all true in my life. And that's why when we went and shot the video, I really wanted to capture that. So for folks who haven't seen the video, my dad is actually in the video. He stars in the last part of it and does a phenomenal job in it. So we've been calling him Robert Duvall for about the last month.
Well, so what's your future plans? What does the future hold for Frank Foster?
You know what, man? I've been doing this 10 going on 11 years now. My dream is that I can do it 10 more. That, you know, and that's another thing, being independent and growing this thing at a grassroots level and not everything not happening so fast. I think in the long game, we're going to be a lot better off than a lot of country music artists are. And what I mean by that is I can look back 2 or 3 years ago at the last album I had that charted in the top 5 or something like that, and look at the names that were around me on the Billboard charts now, and I ain't heard of nothing from them in 3 or 4 years. So,
well, it's the music. I mean, if you listen
yeah.
to your music, I mean, your music is everlasting, seriously, and it touches the heart and soul of at least people down here in the South, I guarantee you.
Yeah, and it's been that way, man. We're starting to grow in the Midwest. You know, it's a lot of country people all over the United States. Just been a slow crawl for us to get to them. So I think as far as the future goes, man, I'm just going to keep doing this till they won't let me show up no more, man. It's been the best I've ever had.
Well, Frank, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. We can't wait for you to come back to Hattiesburg. Maybe not Bruce's. We're going to sell them out at the Forest County Multi-Purpose Center Friday night with Chris Cagle and also Blaine Rudd. Best of luck. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me, man.
You bet.